Saturday. That's all welcome this week.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for your kind introduction, Prabhuji. I remember there was an anecdote in Radha Gopinath Mandir Chowpatty. Once His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj had come, and Maharaj is known for his enthusiastic singing and dancing. And whenever Maharaj leads Mangalarti, it continues beyond 8 o'clock. And I was thinking that I'm getting a replica of here that Mangalarti is until 7:30 where the devotees are singing and dancing. After that, Maharaj starts Bhagavatam class. And he says that the goal of our life is to be mad. Maharaj, then it's mad for Krishna. Yes, and I see there are so many mad, intoxicated devotees here, inspired by Lord Nityananda Prabhu and so many wonderful devotees like Vyasacharya Prabhu, Krishna Prabhu, and so many other devotees. Yes, he's there. Prema Mata Nityananda Kripavatara all the devotees are intoxicated by the mercy of God Nitai from Vrindavan, Radha Madhav from Mayapur, and Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai from Seshadripuram or Jagannath Puri or Pune. From Seshadripuram, yes. No, we have the blend of all three dhams. Yes. So yes, it's a wonderful place. I am very honored, Prabhuji, to give an opportunity to say something. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are discussing from 4th canto, 9th chapter. This is the section of Dhruva Maharaj's prayers, and we'll be chanting this verse number 11. Bhaktim moho prabhavatam tvai me prasango Bhaktim moho prabhavatam tvai me prasango Bhuyadananta mahatam amala sayanam Bhuyadananta mahatam amala sayanam Yenanjasa ulvarnam uruvyasanam bhavabhim Yenanjasa ulvarnam uruvyasanam bhavabhim Neshe bhavad gunakatha amritapanamatta Neshe bhavad gunakatha amritapanamatta Bhaktim moho prabhavatam tvai me prasango भूयादनन्तमहताममलाशयानाम् येनाञ्जसा उल्बणं रुव्यसनं भवाब्धिम् नेशे भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्ता like to leave. भक्ति मोह प्रभवतां त्वयि मे प्रसंगो नन्दमहतामलाशयानाम् sorry yes येनाञ्जसो स्मलनोरुसनं भवाधिम् से भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्ता माताजी भक्ति मोह प्रभवतां त्वयि मे प्रसंगो भूयादनन्तमहताममलाशयानाम् येनाञ्जसा उल्बणव्यसनं भवाधिम् नेशे भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्ता. So, I'll just read the translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Dhruva Maharaj continued, O unlimited Lord, kindly bless me so that I may associate with great devotees who engage in your transcendental loving service constantly, as the waves of a river constantly flow. Such transcendental devotees are completely situated in an uncontaminated state of life. By the process of devotional service, I shall surely be able to cross the nascent ocean of material existence, which is filled with the webs of blazing fire like dangers. It will be very easy for me, for I am becoming mad to hear about your transcendental qualities and pastimes, which are eternally existent. Purport. The significant point in Dhruva Maharaj's statement is that he wanted the association of pure devotees. Transcendental devotional service cannot be complete and cannot be realizable without the association of devotees. We have therefore established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Anyone who is trying to be aloof from this Krishna Conscious Society and yet engaged in Krishna consciousness is living in a great hallucination, for this is not possible. From this statement by Dhruva Maharaj, it is clear that unless one is associated with the devotees, his devotional service does not mature. It does not become distinct from material activities. The Lord says, Tatam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hridkarna rasayana. Bhagavatam 3:25-25. Only in the association of your devotees can the words of Lord Krishna be fully potent and realizable to the heart and ear. Dhruva Maharaj explicitly wanted the association of devotees. That association and devotional activity is just like the waves of an incessantly flowing river. In our Krishna conscious society, we have full engagement 24 hours a day. Every moment of our time is always busily engaged in the service of the Lord. This is called the incessant flow of devotional service. A Mayavadi philosopher may question us, you may be very happy in the association of devotees, but what is your plan for crossing the ocean of material existence? Maharaj's answer is that it is not very difficult. He clearly says that this ocean can be crossed very easily if one simply becomes mad to hear the glories of the Lord. Bhavad Guna Katha. For anyone who persistently engages in hearing the topics of the Lord from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita, and who is actually addicted to this process, just as one addicted to intoxicants, It is very easy to cross the nescience of material existence. The ocean of material nescience is compared to a blazing fire. But to a devotee, this blazing fire is insignificant because he is completely absorbed in devotional service. Although the material world is blazing fire to a devotee, if it appears full of pleasure, Vishwam Purnam Sukhayate. The purport of the statement by Dhruva Maharaj is that devotional service in the association of devotee is the cause of the development of further devotional service. By devotional service, only is one elevated to the transcendental planet Golok Vrindavan. And there also, there is only devotional service. For the activities of devotional service, both in this world and in the spiritual world, are one and same. Devotional service does not change. The example of a mango can be given here. If one gets an unripe mango, it is still a mango. And when it is ripe, it remains the same mango, but it has become more tasteful and releasable. Similarly, there is devotional service performed according to the direction of the spiritual master and the injunctions and regulative principles of Shastra. And there is devotional service in the spiritual world rendered directly in the association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But they are both same. There is no change. The difference is that one stage is unripe and the other is ripe and more releasable. It is possible to mature in devotional service only in the association of devotees. Om Tats. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakayam Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamine Te Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Asyatadesatarini Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we are discussing here from the fourth canto, ninth chapter, how Dhruva Maharaj returns home. But before that, there is a nice section which really talks about the prayers of Dhruva Maharaj. I think 2 weeks back we had a wonderful opportunity to hear from Kal Chakra Prabhu, where I was hearing that class. Just like Sukadeva Goswami, he was so enthusiastic to speak Bhagavatam. After half an hour, he started Mangalacharan, and after 1 hour, he started the class from 4.9.6. That's what I was reminding. Yes, the goal of life is to be mad, mad for hearing Krishna Katha and mad for sharing Krishna Katha. But of course, sometimes we have to tolerate, for hearing Krishna Katha as well, because once we have speakers like this. Because yes, we don't have the necessary qualification, but we are sharing something for our self-purification. So Maitreya Rishi, he says, third canto, sixth chapter. Tathapi kirtayami anga yathamatim yathasrutam. Yes, we are sharing this Krishna Katha as far as our realization, whatever we have heard, whatever little we have realized. So only from the blessings of the lordships and Guru Parampara, just to make our, tongue just, we are just glorifying the lordships. Because if you don't speak Krishna Katha with our tongue, Maitreya Muni is saying that the tongue becomes unchaste, asati. Sati means a lady who is chasteful, is loyal to husband. Similarly, the objective of the tongue is to glorify only the Lord and his devotees. Otherwise, kirtim harim sam satkartum giram anya avida asatim. Asatim, he's saying. And yes, and at the same time, he also continues further. He's saying, Ekantalavam vachaso nupumsam suslokamoli gunavadam. He's saying the perfection of humanity is to hear, is to hear. And hear about whom? And there are so many topics to hear. Prabhupada translates very nicely here. The highest perfection of humanity is to hear about that pious actor, not any other actor. And nowadays, people are running after, going for a movie, who has acted in what way. And there's a long rush, right? But here, fortunate are the devotees, who'd like to hear and engage their ears, to hear about that pious actor. That is the perfection of life. And all the great sages, they have written all these beautiful scriptures, so that the actual purpose is served. Once you take this ear in hearing the glories of the lordships. Right. Yes, it is, Srila Prabhupada's causeless mercy that we have this system that we, Nityam Bhagavatam Sevaya, we hear every day, and at the same time we get an opportunity to hear in the association of devotees, because it is mentioned that, Sarup Damodar Goswami is saying, Jao Bhagavata Pada Vaishnave Rasthane Ekanta Ashraya Karo Chaitanya Charane. Yes, we release Bhagavatam, as we are reading in the purport today. We release Bhagavatam in the association of devotees. And once you hear the commentary of Srila Prabhupada, once you hear, the realization of the acharyas, and that's where, we really go deep to get the pulse. Otherwise, sometimes we read it, like Gorgon Swami Maharaj says that, sometimes we go in the surface only, in the ocean. Sometimes you touch the water or just swim a little bit. But the actual diver who really looks for the gems, they really go deep within the bed of the ocean, and they really find the gems there. So, of course, and if you don't know scuba diving, we cannot go on our own. It's very dangerous, right? We have to go with a trainer, right? That's why it is, you have to go with the devotees, like Srila Prabhupada, who are the perfect scuba diver. They really kind of, finds the gems from the scriptures, and we can really, understand it. And yes, we really, discuss Bhagavatam for the purification of our tongue, for purification of our ears. At the same time, we also get enlivened when you hear that how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he himself, he showed by example. आपने करीबु भक्त भाव अंगीकारा आपनी आचारी भक्ति सिखाई सवारे. He has come here to teach us and how to perform bhakti, how to be a bhakta. And how many of you been to Tota Gopinath, Puri? Only very few, I think. We should plan for a yatra, Prabhuji. Okay, maybe others. Now we can really go there by hearing, because both are equivalent. So, in Tota Gopinath, especially this episode is mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya Khanda, 10th chapter, where it is mentioned that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he used to go every day to hear from Gadadhar Pandit. Ei mata Prabhu Priya Gadadhar Sange, ta mukhe Bhagavat suni thake range. Every day Mahaprabhu used to go and hear the sweetness, Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. We hear that, oh, it's so delicious, so sweet, so juicy, without, free from any kind of, like nowadays we get mango without any chilka or gutli, right? Only Amrita Rasa Phala. There's Amrita Rasa Phala. And there, what Mahaprabhu used to do? Gadadhara pare sammukhe bhagavata Suniya prakase Prabhu prema bhavayat. And once you hear Srimad Bhagavatam from the lotus mouth of Gadadhar Pandit, Prabhu used to develop so much of ecstasy. And what Mahaprabhu used to hear? Prahlada charitra aro dhruva charitra satabruti kariya sune savahita. Mahaprabhu used to hear the pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruv Maharaj. And sometimes we hear that, oh, Prabhuji, we have heard it already. And Mahaprabhu is doing what? Sata Abruti. And he used to hear hundreds of times. Right? It's not that, okay, we just hear once, we hear Damodar pastime once, or we hear Dhruv Maharaj pastime once, we are done. No. Mahaprabhu used to show us that how we can really relish Bhagavatam. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam. Tadeva shaswan manaso mahotsavam. Tadeva shokanavashoshanam nrunam. Yadauttama yasano giyate. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam. The more we hear, we'll get newer and newer, attraction, for the Lord, for the process of bhakti. And it becomes so much attracting, it becomes so much relishable. Once we, hear it again and again in the association of the right devotees. Right? Yes. Once we hear, Srimad Bhagavatam and especially the prayers, what do you get? Our heart gets purified. And once we chant these prayers, we remind the Lord of their dear devotees, right? And once the Lord hears the devotees' names, right, and the Lord gets pleased. Once the Lord gets pleased, our job is done. Right? Our job is to really please the Lord, right? And third thing, apart from purification, apart from the Lord is pleased, most important thing is that, our we get realized about the absolute truth, especially in this, and ninth chapter, 5th verse. We hear that how once touched by the counsel, Dhruva Maharaj, he got really awakened. He really realized the absolute truth. And what is that absolute truth? Realization of absolute truth means. Prabhupada is writing here. Realization of absolute truth means, in the first line, there are many important items to be considered in this verse. First of all, the relationship between the absolute truth and the relative material and spiritual energy is explained herein by a student who has complete knowledge of the Vedic scriptures. So yes, once we understand and realize Vedic scripture means, we understand who is Jagadisa, what is Jagat and what is Jiva. We understand what is our role and who is that Jagadisa and who is this Prakriti. How do you understand it? You understand the relationship between them. And how do you understand the relationship between, let's say, Krishna and Jiva? Anybody? We hear many times. What is the relationship between Krishna and Jiva? Yes, Mamavam sa Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Yes, it's so clear that how Jiva is a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's not part and parcel, eternal, Sanatana. No? Eternal part and parcel of the Lord. Okay, now let's understand the relationship between Jiva and Jagat or the Prakriti. What is the relationship between them? What is the relationship? Between Jiva and Prakriti or the Maya. Manasasthani Indriyani. What else? Ahankara Vimudatma. Very good. Anyone else? Krishna buli sei jiva bhogavancha kare nikatastha maya tare japatiya kare. Yes, right? Krishna buliya sei jiva anadi bahir mukha. Atayave maya tare samsara dukha. Right? Yes, Manasasthani Indriyani. Yes. Once the jiva, right, he forgets Krishna and then he is really attacked by Maya. And then he really suffers. He suffers so much, with so much of difficulties. Right? And then what is the relationship between Jagat And Jagadisa, Krishna and Prakriti, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. And Magmya Dakshena Prakriti, Soyate Charachara. Heduna Kanti Jagadapti. Yes, there are so many verses are there. Like, yes, once we hear, come in the association of the devotees, we understand these relationships. And yes, once chant this praise, as we will be hearing, right? All this, really gets, enlivened. So yes, this prayers, uh, once we chant, this really, these prayers are and the loving emotions that is being poured out, uh, from the devotee's heart. It really connects us from the material world to the spiritual world. Mm. Uh, yes, really like the breeze. Yes, these prayers we can remember, and we can chant again and again, like not only Bhagavatam prayers, but also the prayers given by Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Narottam Das Thakur. And at the same time, this prayers has to go from the head to the heart, right? Because Krishna consciousness is not about head religion; it's about the heart religion. Our heart should get softened, unless it happens, right? Because the objective is the transformation of the heart. That how that arrogance to humility, from selfishness to selflessness, and from that hatred to the love for the Lord and His devotees awakens. That is the objective. So yes, really prayers, it's sometimes, during our initial days, once you hear prayers, it's okay, let's, go through it quickly. But to hear that, how important it is, how it is for our purification, how it is for, to understand the absolute truth, and how once you chant the prayers, the Lord is really pleased. So yes, devotees, we should pray. At the same time, once we pray, definitely the Lord reciprocates. And the next question we can ask, okay, and once the Lord comes in front of us, what is that we can ask? What is that we can ask? Huh? Yes, very good. You are all, eternal seva. Yes, these are all, the devotees who are practicing pure devotional service. But if before coming to pure devotional service level, if you ask someone that, okay, I need one more zero in my bank account, or, I need one more case in my house. People kind of, we have, so many other desires, because, their senses are dead. Their senses are dead. That's what we hear in this, 4.9.6. Their senses are inert. Prabhupada said they're ghostly bodies. They don't know what is right and wrong. But then once you come in front of the Lord and His devotees, then this is what it happens. And our senses gets awakened. It gets enlivened. Yanta pravisya mama vachamimam prasuptam sanjeevayati akila sakti dhara swadhamnam अन्यांश्च हस्तचरण श्रवणात्वगादीन् प्राणान् नम भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्. So yes, our senses, they will get enlightened, especially if someone is in darkness. You really don't know what is there inside. We really get fearful. But then once you switch on the light, we understand, okay, oh, there are no snakes or scorpions, right? Oh, there are no wonderful devotees are there. Or, oh, there's a beautiful deity is there. And we really get awakened, we become fearless. This is what happens, in the presence of the lordships. And that's why Prabhupada always gives this example. Without Krishna in our life, whatever we have, they are all zeros. And once you put Krishna in the front, what happens? It becomes 10, 100, 1,000, 1 million, 1 billion. You see? Nothing goes waste. Now, the only difference is that bring Krishna in our life. And that how you can really bring Krishna in our life? Yes. Avinatvam nama namena. Yes. Whenever chanting the name of the Lord, Lord is dancing in our tongue. When we are, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada writes, and 1.3.44. We can see Krishna in every page of Bhagavatam. Yes. Yes, what is really required is our absorption, our purity. Yes, we need to sometimes, once we are inside the house, it's, oh, there is no sun. Now, if you understand what you have to do, you have to go outside. Right? Right? Yes, to receive the mercy, we have to open our heart. Otherwise, we are just dead. I heard from the devotees also that you have been also discussing daily from the second canto, third chapter, where second chapter and third chapter you are discussing. I had every day daily, and there's a very nice discussion happens, especially in third chapter, where how the Sonakadarsis, they are encouraging Sutta Goswami, to speak about Krishna Gatha. And they are saying, Sonakadarsi is saying, Ayur Harati Vaipumsam, if we are not hearing Krishna Gatha, right, our Ayu really goes down. And there was one person who had gone to a village and he saw that, in that tombs, right, the age of that person was written in the crematorium. Somebody's 2 years, 10 years, 20 years. Max was that. And then when he inside the village, then he asked, is that in this village everybody dies young? And then this person, what do you say? Like you see, there are so many elderly gentlemen are here, ladies are here. So I saw in that term, like everybody's age, was written, less than 20 only. Oh, that was it. Oh, we write the age of the person, the amount of time somebody hears Krishna Katha. Somebody here, in the association of devotees. That is our real age. Right? Yes, otherwise, we are really dead. We are alive only in the association of devotees. And somebody might say, oh, just by hearing and chanting, you become special. What will happen if you hear and chant? No, this Sanukadi Rishi is saying that, oh, you become immortal. You go beyond the cycle of birth and death. And then our Sanukadi Rishis, they kind of, play the other role also. Oh, somebody who, the materialist, they might say that, oh, what are you about? You're talking about the long life, the immortal life in the next life. No, here in this life, we can have a long life, right? By taking so many medicines, by taking so many yogas, this and that. And then Sanokadi Rishi is saying, Sarva Kimna Jivan. Haven't seen? Right? There are some trees. We hear of this redwood forest, there are 5,000 years. But then, somebody might say that, okay, no, we are not talking about the trees, we can really breathe. Breathing. Oh, have you seen the bellows of the blacksmith? It always bleeds. I don't know how many of you have seen that in the old days. The bellows of the blacksmith, and they're really kind of impressive. But no. Oh, why are you talking about the bellows? We can eat also, we can mate also. And then the Sanokada Rishi is saying, eating, mating, the animals also do. They are also doing the same thing, right? And then somebody might say that, oh, they are eating and mating, but so many people glorify me. So many people say, oh, so and so, right? Oh, glorification. Yes, so many animals. You have heard that pastime, how the donkey also aham rupam. It kind of describes the camel. What a wonderful form you have. And the camel describes donkey. Oh, what a glorious sound voice you have. Right? So basically, what, in that section, what our Acharya is saying that what is the use of everything else if you're not utilizing our life for hearing and chanting the Lord's names and Lord's glories. So yes, yes, all of us, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kopunoy. Yes, the Krishna consciousness is dormant within our heart, but it really gets awakened once we come in the association of the devotees. And it can get awakened even for the animals. We have heard that? Where it is? Gajendra and so yes, in Jharkhand forest. Right? And Pasu Pokhi Jhure Pashana Vidare Shunijar Guna Gatha. Yes, this is the where it is. Right? Yes. Hmm. Yes. You see How even animals who are in the lowest mode, they get really awakened to the highest mode. Atti nicha uchchata kara. This is the transcendental power of this, the association of the Lord and his devotees. Right? Yes, but at least, there is a definitely hope for us. Right? But what do we have to do? We have to open our heart. We have to open our ear, in hearing and chanting. And so that we don't remain, yeah, like a jada, remain a dead body. Right? Right? Yes. And it gets awakened as we study in so many things. And yes, we have Ramanavami coming. And we hear that sometimes, even a great devotee like Hanuman, he even forgets his capability, right? And then, his energy really get reawakened by association of devotees like Jambavan, right? Right? Everybody was saying that, oh, now we have reached this bank of the ocean. We don't know where to go. Everybody is so morose. One by one, inspired by Angada, they were saying, oh, I can jump 1 mile. Another was saying 10 miles. Another said, 200 miles. Angada said, yes, I can jump, 800 miles. Everybody said, wow, our captain ki jai. He was the captain. But then Angada said, but, but I don't know if I can return. Because the Lanka is known for illusion, for lusty attraction. Now I might get trapped there. And everybody's kind of hope really went down. And then Jambavan said, yes, once upon a time, I was to really kind of go around all over the universe with my one jump. But now I cannot even jump even a porthole of the water. And then what will happen? And then Jambavan was just going around and saying, yes, Hanuman, yes, you have been blessed. Do you remember? With one jump, you could reach the sun. Right? And then, yes, enlivened, by the words of Jambavan. And then Hanuman chanted, Jai Sri Ram! Is it we are in Lanka or we are in? Can you try again? Jai Sri Ram! Yes, we should be happy in chanting Lord's name. Yes, by just chanting the Lord's name, or it is said that, right? Right, especially Mahaprabhu was saying Simha Griva, Simhero Omkar. The devotee is known for chanting loudly. Because once we chant loudly, all the elephant like anarthas that really goes away. Can you try it again? Jai Sri Ram! Yes, this is what it is, right? Our heart gets awakened and all the anarthas they run away. This is what the enlivening of the senses is. That was about the sixth verse. And in the seventh verse, it also talks about, yes, Lord also has a two energies. One is really the external energy, another is internal energy. Right? The same source, but different manifestation. Prabhupada gives his example, just like we have the electricity, it's a current energy, but depending on the appliance, if the appliance is a refrigerator, it cools, and if the appliance is, let's say, heater, it gives the heat, right? So depending on our consciousness, right, somebody is really attracted to the sense objects for their sense gratification, or somebody who is really blessed by the internal energy of the Lord, he gets attracted towards the lotus feet of the Lord and serving the Lordships. So we hear that from Bhagavad Gita. What is that verse which really talks about who is a Mahatma? Mahatmanastu mam partham devim prakriti asata ajanti ananya manasa yatva bhuta dimabhyayam. Yes, that's where, in the middle of the Bhagavad Gita, this is the middle of the Bhagavad Gita where, very beautifully Krishna is saying, who is really Mahatma? Mahatma means he is Devim Prakriti Asrita. He is under the shelter of Devi, Prakriti of the Lord. And who is a Duratma? Duratma means Maya Aparata Asrita. Right? Whose mind and intelligence is stolen. Right? And he's really looking for, how he can do enjoy Madi. Yes. This is the difference, right? Our mode is seva vritti or bhoga vritti. If we are a bhoga vritti, we have the demoniac propensities. Yes, in this age, we don't see the demons means, big teeth, big horns. No, right? That was a age of maybe Satya Yoga or Treta Yoga or even Dwapar Yoga maybe. But now the same, like demons and the Devata Prakriti, they reside in the same heart. Right? That's what we hear. That good dog and bad dog. And which one wins? Yes, whichever we feed the most. Yes, it's really important where we are taking the shelter, right? And yes, because we are just a part and parcel. Prabhupada here gives this example of, let's say, a gold ring. We cannot really compare it to a gold mine or a drop of water. We cannot compare it to the ocean. Yes, or similarly, just a spark. We cannot really compare it to the huge, fireball. But yes, they are part and parcel. And that in a spark, once it is separated from that fireball, just a matter of time it gets extinguished. But as soon as it is there within that big fireball, it retains that properties of the fire. Yes, most of the times, we also get this choice, say yes to Krishna or say yes to Maya. It's up to us. All right. And once again, because once again, I can remember from Ramayana, the beautiful pastime where the personification of the internal potency of the Lord, Mother Sita, she really also plays the role of a jiva. How? During this, Dandakaranya time, how this Maricha came as a golden deer. And yes, she was really attracted by the golden deer and, she wanted something else apart from her dear husband for whom, she had left everything. And she wanted something else now. Right? And we know that what was the consequence that happened, especially, I think kind of 5th canto, 19th chapter, 7th, 8th verse, that section is there, how in the Kim Purusha Varsas and the Hanuman they prayer, and in that section it is very beautiful. Prabhupada talks about that how a jiva gets trapped by the external allurements, external energy allurements of the Lord. How we should be careful unless we are uh, we are in the association of the devotees. And as we move forward in the next verse, we hear, especially this 8th and 9th, really talks about, where exactly then a person takes the shelter. A person takes shelter of the Lord. Even Dhruva Maharaj is saying, my great grandfather Brahma took your shelter, and he got really awakened. And you are known, for giving shelter to everybody. Tasya apavarga saranam tava padamulam. Who takes over your lotus feet, they really, gets, everything. And you are known as Artha Bandhu. You are known as the deliverer of the distressed. Yes. Sometimes we hear that, oh, Lord is a Bhakta Vatsala. He's a beloved of his devotees. But a devotee, once he hears that, especially as we are practitioner, we get really scared. Oh, Lord is Bhakta Vatsal, but I am not a Bhakta. Will he take care of me? And then he hears that not only Lord is, Bhakta Vatsal, he is also Artha Bandhu, he is Dina Bandhu, he is a Padita Pavana. And Prabhupada, I think he brings that in Chaitanya Charitamrita, I think 14th chapter, in the first verse purport, he thinks that, the more fallen one is, he has more right to claim the mercy of Gaur Nitai. This is it. Mark hai prem de. This is the quality of and this prema matta nityananda kripa avatar. These are the qualities of Karuna Avatar. This is what we are really, we are so fortunate to receive, the causeless mercy, and how, we need to take shelter of that, right? Yes, um, especially once again in Ramayana. So I just wanted to add a little bit from Ramayana just to warm up. I know Vyasacharya Prabhu or Prajishta Prabhu will be speaking a lot on Ramnavami, but just for my verification. Once again, we hear about, and there's a very exemplary, episode of son of Indra. Who was that? Anybody knows? Yes, giant, who came as a crow, to attack Mother Sita. All right. And then as soon as Lord Ram recognized who is he, right? Though he's a Devata, right? He's a son of a Deva, but then he's acting like a demon and he needs to be punished. Lord Ram just took a durva grass and threw, and it became just like a sharp arrow chasing giant. He was going everywhere, but he didn't get any protection. Who can really? Krishna rakhe mare ke, Krishna mare rakhe ke. If Krishna wants to kill you, no one can save you. If Krishna wants to save you, no one can kill you. Especially, like you might have heard, especially this rhyme. Yeah. Especially, of course, we teach our kids, but we don't follow it, or we don't have faith in this. Right? Yes, it is. you know so giant, and he was going everywhere, you know, pahi mam, pahi mam. But then finally, without any shelter, he really came at the lotus feet of Lord Ram, and then Lord Ram, protected him. So how a person who has, even not qualified, who has really committed a mistake, big offense, right? He really got, delivered by the causeless mercy of Lord Ram. Yes, he is known as Artha Bandhu. And the Lord here is addressed as Artha Bandhu, which means a friend of the distressed. Yes. And in the next verse, in the verse 9, we hear that how a person, because of the lack of the right knowledge, he really takes shelter of the Lord, but then really asks for something which is really material. For just sense gratification. And then in the next verse also, the verse 10, which really talks about the hierarchy of the bliss, about the Jadananda, Sargananda, Brahmananda, and Bhakti Ananda, the Premananda. So a person at the lower stage, he wants to get the enjoyment, from the dead objects. As we said, Dhana, Jana, Sundari, and all that. But you hear, what is the mood of Dhruv Maharaj here? What he is saying? Oh Lord, I was really aspiring to have a broken piece of glass. Thana vilasi tapasi stitoham tvam praptavan deva munindra gohyam kachan vichinvan abhidipyaretnam Swamin Kritatosmi Varam Nayache. Varam Nayache. Oh Lord, I don't want anything now. Because now I've got a diamond. Which this diamond, which is really been, aspired by all the devatas. Even after searching for millions of words, they don't get this diamond. And now I have received. But how unfortunate. I was really looking for some broken pieces of glass. Aho dukkham maha dukkham dukkha dukkataram yata kachartham vismrutam ratna re nameva kevalam. Right? Alas, alas, so unfortunate that now we are not able to understand the value of Hari, Guru, Vaishnava, the Naam of the Lord, the name of the Lord, the scriptures that is given by the Lordships. And we are considering, this extraordinary things as ordinary, and ordinary things we consider as extraordinary. We think that, This will give me happiness, that will give me happiness. But nothing can give us happiness, true happiness. And not even Brahmananda. Krishna dasa bhimane ji ananda sindhu koti brahma sukha tara age kavindu. Like, hear that, you know, the pride a devotee develops, considering as a Krishna das, the bliss that he gets, it cannot be compared with even a drop of the happiness one gets in this Brahmananda. Forget about Swargananda or Jadananda, right? Which in this, you might have seen this, x-axis and y-axis is really the negative. Right? Because, especially in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, here's the characteristics of pure devotional service. Subhadha, Klesagni, like, Subhadha, then Moksha Lukstakrit, and then there is a Sandarananda Visheshatma. There are three levels of happiness that we get it: sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, and prema bhakti. Right? And how a person, it means Kaivalya Narakayate, Tirdasapura Akasa Puspayate. Even the liberation he considers just an insignificant, tuchha, right? Forget about, the things of this world, because he has really tested, the love of the Lord. And yes, and especially we hear this pastime of Sarvam Bhattacharya, how, he was so much of attached earlier, to this, Brahma Jigyasa, to understand, and to speculate this Vedantas and so on. But then, once he got in touch with Mahaprabhu, uh, uh, he's saying, especially this episode comes, after this Gundicha Marjana, the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, I think chapter 12, when all the devotees bring Mahaprasad. At that point of time, Gopinath Acharya, he's saying, oh, you see all the devotees, how Sarvam Bhattacharya, he has become such a wonderful devotee now. And Sarvam Bhattacharya is saying to everybody there, Mahaprabhu bina keno nahi daya moya, kakero gorudo kore eche kono hoyo. I was a crow, always. I was a crow. I was always, cawing. But now he has made me a Garuda, the carrier of the Lord. Earlier, Tarkika Srogala Sange Bhiyu Bhiyu Kori Sehi Mukhe Besada Krishna Krishna Hari. Right? I was associated with Srugalas. Srugala means they do all this, always making, logic, trying to, say neti, neti, all that stuff. But now, you see, now I'm in the association of devotees, being blessed by Mahaprabhu. I am really chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Yes, this is the highest bliss that we can really expect. Right? And once again, coming back, preparing for Ramayana, we hear the mood of Bharat. Right? He was really offered the kingdom of Ayodhya in his plate. Right? And then he left everything. And he went to Chitrakoot to meet Lord Ram. And of course, we don't have time to discuss this Ram Bharat Milap. Right? But what is kind of an exchange? We have heard the tug of war, or or there was a tug of love. There is a love, the kind of an exchanges that happens between Ram and Bharat. Even Lakshman got, his shock of his life. Because earlier he was thinking that, oh, now Bharat is really taking, is coming to attack us. But once he heard that how Bharat is really coming and begging Lord Ram, oh, please come. And now this whole Ayodhya is so destabilized. Only by your presence, it can be stabilized. Lord Ram is saying, what? Stability, you mean? The only permanent thing in this world is change. Yes, it is bound to happen. Right? And but then he's saying that, somehow I have to undo what my father has done, that mistake. And Lord Ram is saying, no, he has not done that mistake. It was already ordained when Dasarath Maharaj married Kaikei, at that point of time, he had given that words that one day, her son would become the king. And then, yes, but I really don't, believe what he has done it right now to you, right? And especially, at the time of death, he really become delirious, right? He become hallucinated, and he did so many things, right? Which cannot be really, believed. And he really made a big mistake. And Lord Ram said, no, my father is just, he's really fair, right? We cannot really, uh, mistake him, for whatever he has done. And Bharat Maharaj was trying again. Oh Lord, but we are a Kshatriya. You are meant to rule. Lord Ram is saying, yes, we are meant to rule. You rule Ayodhya, I will rule this forest. I will take care of this forest, kill all the demons, and you take care of, all the Ayodhya Vasis. Right? And Bharat was giving, empowered by all the sages, all the citizens, giving so many, reasons why Lord Ram should come back. But then Lord Ram, he said, yes, sun can be devoid of the sunlight, or moon can be devoid of the moonlight, right? But I cannot really go away from my promise that I have given. And finally, when Vasishtha came, Vasishtha come, and then he said that, oh, especially we consider the instruction of father, mother, and the guru is the everything. And now I am really instructing you, come back. And everybody was really happy. Yes, done. Right? But then Lord Ram said, yes, I agree what you said. They should be really respected, but at the same order. In a way, it is given. First, I have received the order from my father. I will accept his instruction, then I will follow your instruction. Right? Nobody had any clue what to do after that. And then Bharat said, oh Lord, now I will fast here. I will do this Payavas, and I will fast till death. And Lord Ram said, what are you doing? This is the job of a Brahmana, right? Without any options, that is the last option he does. Right? No, you have to go back and rule the kingdom. And without any solace. And then, right, all the citizens said, yes, whatever Ram is saying, true. But then Bharat said, I cannot go alone. Now please give me your Paduka, so that I can ensure that your Paduka rules the kingdom. Some our Acharya says that, they give a very nice analogy. They say that Lord Ram is like a lion, right? And like this Paduka is like a lioness. And Bharat is like the cub. And all they were staying in a cave of Ayodhya. But then, at that point of time, a big elephant, started trumpeting with this pride. Oh, is there anyone? I want to enjoy everything here. And then seeing, desiring to crush that pride of that elephant, lion came forward to attack. And at that point of time, what the lioness did? Lioness took that cub into that cave. Right? So yes, the devotee is saying that it's not that Bharat took Paduka. It's that Paduka took Bharat. Right? Yes, this is the glory of the lotus feet, or the anything which is connected to the lotus feet of the Lordships. That's a Prabhupada. All of us should be really attached, to serve Prabhupada. Yes, all of us. Prema dhana vina vyartha daridra jivana dasa kori beton more diya prema dhana. Oh my dear Lord, I only want, one service, that I want to serve you. And if you want to give me something, just keep me as eternal servant of yours. That's the only thing I want. Yes, that's what, we come today's verse now, in the next 5 minutes, which really talks about, yes, how we really can maintain this bhakti, how we can really maintain this mood, and we can really get it in the association of devotees. Right? And if we think that we can perform this bhakti alone, Prabhupada says, is a hallucination. Hallucination, yes, we cannot perform bhakti on our own. Ekaki amara nahi paya bala harinama sankirtana. Yes, yes, on our own, being tormented by the so many waves of the desire. That's what that Kurma Brahmana also was saying. I want to come with you, Mahaprabhu. You know, and I'm really tormented by these waves of sense desires. What Mahaprabhu said? इच्छे तो कबू ना कहिबो. Don't tell like this. You know, जारे देखो तारे को कृष्ण उपदेश अमर अज्ञान गुरु हे तारे देश. Right? Punarapi eighane pave marasanga. Once again, you will get my darshan every time once you chant the holy names of the Lordships. So as we are chanting in the association of the devotees, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Right? Prabhupada gives here the analogy of the mango. Right? Mango, right? There is unripe or ripe. Both are same, like both are mangoes only. Right? But then one is unripe, it's khatta, and what is ripe means? Mitha. Right? Okay, the same mango. What it needs to do from khatta to mitha? What it is to be? Just be attached to the tree. Just be in the bus in the association of devotees. Once you are in the association of devotees, yes, we are very close. And that's why there are two kinds of pure devotees. One time, Prabhupada was, how many pure devotees are there in your movement? Prabhupada said, hey, what? Prabhupada asked, how many devotees are there in our movement? Because yes, there are some pure devotees who are already perfected. And there are some who are aspiring to be pure devotees. Yes, all here, we aspire to serve, our Guru Parampara, our Acharyas, that really makes us eligible. Right? Yes. And with that association, even a Mrugari hunter can become the Param Vaishnava. Even that Dasyu Ratnakar can become the sage Valmiki. Yes, it is that the moment of association of Narad Muni. And here, just end this discussion with one beautiful pastime. So this happens in Srirangam during one of his final days. What happens? All the devotees, they came forward and they heard enough of the pastime of Vibhishana's surrender. And they discussed, oh Ramanuja, oh Yatiraj, we have heard how you really gave, how Lord Ram gave protection to Vibhishan. The Sakradeva Prapanyasya. Right? Tasmad ichate, tava asmi eva yachate, abhayam sarvada tasmai, tadadyetam vratam mama. Yes, Lord has said that if somebody chants once, what? Jai Sri Ram! Oh Lord! I don't want to say. Yes, because the benefit of saying this, Lord is saying, abhayam, I'll give the fearlessness. You don't have to worry about, oh, AI will take my job, or whether maid will come today or not. You don't have to worry about anything. For that, what do you have to say? Oh Lord, I am yours. Tava asmi. I am yours. Once somebody says that Lord is saying, I'll give it an abhaya. That dadiyatam bratam mama. That is my vow. And Lord is giving that promise. And the devotees there, they have heard enough times. Right? Even though all the Banaras, Sugriva, and everybody, they were opposing, Vibhishan coming to this camp. But Lord Ram said, I will take care because now he has taken my shelter. But then, Dhanurdas, right? All of us know the word Dhanurdas, who he was. He was really carrying that umbrella for his mistress, right? And then how his heart was transformed, by the beauty of Lord Ranganath. And he came forward and he said, Yatiraj, yes, we have heard, but then what about me? I don't have the good qualities of Vibhishan, who really surrendered, completely surrendered at the lotus feet of the Lord Ram. I'm so envious. I have so much of fault. I have so much of bad qualities still with me. I have so much of unearths with me. What is the hope for me? And at that point of time, what is Yatiraj replied? Do you know, Vibhishan didn't come alone. Along with him, there were of his 4 associates who were demons. But because they were in association with Vibhishan, then they got the shelter of Lord Ram. This is what it is. Yes, because we are and connected to Nath Muni, Yamuna Acharya, and all the devotees. There is a hope for us, and there is a asanu band. Hope against hope is there because for us, Prabhupada is there. You have to just hold the dhoti of Srila Prabhupada. We have to take shelter of Srila Prabhupada. Through his teachings, through his instructions, by taking inspiration, from his life and follow their teachings. Yes, and that's what Prabhupada is teaching us. And that's what, we can really learn from this beautiful episode how we should take shelter of the devotees at all the time. Because yes, we hear that uh, we have to really understand that our Krishna is the root, and we have to feed our stomach, right? But can we really, if you wanted to water the root, first we have to, take out all the earth, and then you have to, water it, or what do you have to do? You have to put it on the earth, and once you put it on the earth, the root gets automatically the water. Similarly, it's not that you have to do surgery and put the food in our stomach, and you have to put it through mouth. And similarly, we cannot approach the Lord Krishna directly. We have to approach through the devotees of the Lord. Once the devotees are pleased, deity is pleased. The Lord is pleased. So yes, whatever we hear that Parikit Maharaj, Pruthu Maharaj, you talk about any devotees in Bhagavatam, the only thing that they ask once they come in front of the devotees is that association of the devotees that all of us already have. So how fortunate we are. How fortunate we are. Yes. That's what we hear again and again. The stories from Srimad Bhagavatam, the past times. That how Mother Kunti, she was looking back and thanking Krishna. Or Prahlad Maharaj, looking ahead, he had so much of trust in Krishna. Dhruv Maharaj, and he was looking within and finding Krishna. And Prabhupada is saying that you just look around and serve the devotees and serve Krishna. Yes. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. Any questions, comments, correction from wonderful devotees here?
Krishna, Krishna. Right.
I have this knowledge like in Bengali, Hare Rama and Hare Ram and then Hare Rama. This one is the correct one. Basically, whenever I say I get doubt on my mind, I take correct.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there are different perspectives to understand this. Sometimes, yes, usually, if somebody is Marathi, somebody calls mother as I, right? Right. In Odia, somebody may call as a ma, right? Or in Kannada, what do they say? Amma, right? And in Bengali, what they say? Ma. Okay. But and if somebody says no, I'll not call ma, now I'll call mom. Mom will not listen. Will listen, huh? Definitely. Okay, somebody says Vishnaya or Vishnave, whatever Vishnu accepts it. At the same time, right? Yes, we should be careful in really pronouncing the names of the Lord appropriately, right? Because it is a difference. Krishna and Krishna, they're different, right? So yes, even Prabhupada also still, it's a Ram, not Ramo. So yes, of course, Lord hears. Lord is a Bhavagrahi Janardana. At the same time, we should be careful in pronouncing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, I have one question. Actually, my mother, she is very old, she can't go to temples. She hears Krishna Katha through YouTube, mobile phone all the time. Will it be effective like Krishna her? Because she's quite old and she's not getting association in the ways where she's staying in the town.
Yes. We hear that how Mother Sita, she was there all alone. Then She was remembering the pastimes of Lord Ram, and then she was happy when once he heard the beautiful Ram Katha from Hanumanji. Somehow, with the uh, Prabhupada's causeless mercy, at every house we have Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, we can take shelter of, we can associate with Srila Prabhupada through the commentary. We can associate with all the acharyas by reading this. Yes. And at home, we can sit together, we can study together, and as much as possible. That is a culture, and especially in Eastern India, especially Odisha, Bengal, there used to be something called Bhagavata Tungis, where every day evening the people used to come together and used to study Srimad Bhagavatams. Yes, that we can make it at our home. That on all of us, the family, they comes together to study Srimad Bhagavatam. They really go the back to Godhead also together. So we can really make a lifestyle change. That is how we can really inspire each other. परस्पर अनुकथनम पावनम भागवतो यशो मिथो रतिर्मिथो तुष्टिर्निवृत्तिर्मिथात्मना. What is the meaning of the association? Association means the spiritual discussion, knowledge transmission, and heart transformation. Yes, we are willing to be transformed. We are willing to be changed with our thinking, feeling, willing with the words of the acharyas. Yes, as long we have that mood to change and to be feel fortunate to contact with Srimad Bhagavatam, definitely, some of you might have heard that His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj talks about that. Is about one person how he was so attached to watermelon, and then how he got that watermelon from a dustbin, right? And instead of watermelon, first he got Bhagavad Gita. And then Bhagavad Gita, he saw that, there is something that we should chant, we should recite. What is that? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare. That's just by, Hare, right? Right? Like once again, coming back to the earlier question as well. Right? Because he had so much of faith in his heart. Or you hear about that South India illiterate Brahmana. विप्र कहे मूर्ख आमी शब्दार्थ ना जानी शुद्ध शुद्ध गीता पढ़ी गुरु आज्ञा मानी. Yes, that illiterate Brahmana, he was saying that, I don't know how to study also Srimad Bhagavatam, how to study Srimad Bhagavad Gita. But because I have heard it from my spiritual master that you should read every day, I'm just trying my best. This is the power. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru. Just having that implicit faith in the words of acharyas, that yes, I don't want to be a fair weather devotee, and I'll just uchad nischay dhairya, I will continue. It's not that okay, अभी दीक्षा हुआ है एक हफ्ता एक महीना, I'm really going zooming, but then after 1 year 1 decade, चल रहा है टिके हुए हैं. No, a devotee means, and the enthusiasm, anandam buddhivardhanam. You always look forward to it, okay. Prabhupada used to say that, once I come in front of the deity, and the only thing that I pray is that, please give me the strength to serve you. Right? Yes, this is the power of association. This is the power of coming in touch. This is how we can really test ourselves. Right? Whether we are alone or with a group of devotees. Association doesn't mean, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, it's not taking a bath in one ghat or going together in a boat. It's not that. It is that how we're really taking shelter of the instruction of the acharyas. And that's what really association means. Does that help, Mataji? Hare Krishna. Any other questions?
Usually, I want to have this, but then it's the courage to ask you this. What do you ask? The offer and then unity. unfortunately or wantedly, whatever problem comes to us, even if we are not involved directly, and I'm straight away relating to this war going all around the world. And of course, लेना देना है, लेकिन इसका जो सब कुछ मालूम है, where are we related to all this? And how does it happen that actually happen? Because the war that is happening, and every all of us are impacted.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. Yes, I know. Somehow or other, right? We hear especially, from first canto, fifth chapter, the 10th, 11th verse with Tadvago Visargo Janataga Viplavo. In that verse, Prabhupada talks about during that point of time also there was a war between India and China. And then Prabhupada talks about how people are really fighting to prove their supremacy. Right? Yes, it is unfortunate. And that's why Prabhupada always used to say it, the only thing lacking in this world is lack of Krishna consciousness. Right? Yes, there is something that we can do, and there is something that which we cannot do. Right? At least, before changing the world, can we really change ourselves? Right? Yes. How can we really conquer the enemies within our heart first? Can we try it out, and then we can change our family? We can change, the society that we are staying. That we have to take the responsibility of ourselves, right? Because even after hearing, so many times, we get succumbed to the anarthas, right? We might kind of give so many things that, oh, you should do this, you should do that, or he should have done this, he should have done that. But what about us? With some temptation that is really coming, we really get distracted, we really get conquered, right? How can we first of all ourselves be strong enough, right? And once again, that is really possible once you are in the association of the sincere devotees. Yes, if possible, if we are the prime minister of the country, or if we can influence the prime minister, that's wonderful. But if not, let's start. Charity begins at home. Let's do whatever the needful that we can do, at our level first. Does that answer? Yes. Anything you would like to add, Prabhuji?
Thank you for class presenting.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
We asked about the room of every week, so let's hope that we all get this business come soon through. By this Vehicle Jagannath and Second Honorables, but who are almost we are so.
Hari
So,
planning, Hari
you understand? So we are starting Buddhist Sanskrit class from room 6. So any devotees interested can please register. If you have any doubts, you can reach out to me. Birthdays, Srijita Madhani on 22nd March, Rutika Chowdhury Madhani 24th March, the Kapta Madhani on 28th March, and Sunday Devgan Madhani. So let's stand for the big and Haribol for respectful brothers. Haribol.